So, you know when you walk in on something that's really fucking awkward and you just kind of want to, like, walk out of the room and bang your head through a wall? So, today's video, I'm talking about one of those situations. Not even awkward, more just fucked up. I saw something really, really messed up about a month back, and I've been saving this. I just been, like, waiting to talk about it for the right time, and it's Christmas break, and I think most of you on break, so I thought it'd be a cool time to talk about this. So, I've had a lot of friends who have some pretty fucked up girlfriends. There's like a good 10 or 11 girls and guys that just shouldn't date from where I'm from because they're fucking crazy. And sadly, my friend recently picked one of those girls to go out with. And at first, I guess she was really cool. I met her a few times, like literally 2 or 3 times. And from what I saw, she was cool. But you know how some people can act like really, really cool in public, and then like when you get one-on-one with them, they're really fucking weird. You know what I mean? Like those types of people where they act really, really cool at like school or something, and then you go to their house and accidentally open the wrong door thinking it's the bathroom, but it's really just a closet filled with like 14 body pillows. I don't know why I fucking said that. That has nothing to do with what I'm about to talk about. Anyway, let's move on here. So my friend had this girlfriend, and for the first few weeks, according to my friend, everything was really, really good. But then at like the 3rd week, stuff started going wrong. I guess they got into their first argument, and she threatened to, like, actually hurt him, like, with a weapon, and I didn't believe it when he told me. I was like, yeah, okay. He's like, no, dude, like, I'm serious. I'm gonna break up with her soon. And I was like, oh, well, that's a good move, because, you know, if she's actually threatening you, then fucking do it. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna next week. So he waited a whole fucking week to prepare this, like, speech about how he was gonna dump her. I don't even know why he did that. Like, just do it, man. If she threatens you, do it. You don't need to speak at a fucking podium with a goddamn paper and be like, look, here are the reasons and the complications. I just need to break up with you. Like, it isn't a fucking presidential election. You don't gotta have a speech. I'm just fucking around. But he did actually, like, prepare this long-ass paper, and he was gonna, like, read it off to her when they met the next week. And he showed me at first, and what I saw, it wasn't really that bad. It wasn't, like, hostile. He wasn't being a dick to her. It was actually kind of nice. Like, I think if I was ever dumped like that, I wouldn't even be upset. But anyway, I told him that looked good, and then a few days went by, and I heard nothing. I didn't really keep up with it, because it wasn't my fucking relationship. I didn't really care. But anyway, I was just hanging out with one of my other friends. I was chilling with him. We were driving to actually go get dinner in his car, and I'm sitting there just on my phone, looking out the window, you know, doing whatever you do when you're on your way to a dinner place. And I get a text from my friend saying, can you please come pick me up at, and he said the girl's name, right now. And I was like, oh, why the fuck is he at her house? Because I figured he already broke up with her, but I guess he was doing it on this day. So I was like, all right, what's the address? And he just gives me a street name. And I was like, I need a house number. He's like, no, I'm just in the street. Like, come get me. I was like, why the fuck is he in the street? So we drive to the street, and we get there, and he's nowhere in sight. And I was like, yo, where are you? We're here on the street. And he's like, oh, go to this house. And he was at the house now. And I was like, okay, he could have fucking saved his time and just gave us the house number. So we pull in. I run up to the house, knock on the door. No one's answering. The door's open, but it was like one of those little glass doors that you can see into the house through, but like it separates it from the actual door you knock on. That was open. So I'm sitting there knocking, and like no one is coming to the door. And I text him and I say, come out. And it's red, but he's not replying. And I was like, all right, well, that's kind of weird. He's just leaving me on red. So I kind of like open the door, crack, and I yell in. I'm like, yo, you there? And I just hear like yelling, and I heard it was her voice, and I was like, okay, she's fighting with him clearly. And then I hear him yelling back, telling her to stop, and I was like, okay, something serious is going on. So I walk in. I know it's fucking rude. You're not supposed to do that. Don't do that. I walk in though, just because it sounded like there was an emergency or something. And I go into the living room, and I see them both standing in the middle of the room, like screaming at each other, and no one was home, like her parents weren't home. And she has one of the fucking knives. Like, no joke, you know the CSGO, like, karambits? She's got one of those, because he gave her one for, like, their little 1-week anniversary thing, 'cause she plays CS. And I saw this, and I was like, does she have a marble fade? And is she yelling at him with it? Now, I know that's kind of fucked up to laugh at, but I know he's safe now. But, like, at the time, this was a very serious situation. Like, you can kill people with those things. So I yelled. I was like, yo, what's going on? And my friend's like, fucking finally, you're here. And she's like, get out. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm just here to pick him up. And she's like, get the fuck out of my house. And I start kind of stepping back because, you know, she has the right to tell me to leave, right? I was like, all right, come on, Mark. And my friend's just like, all right, let's go. And he starts walking. And she stops him, like, with the knife. Like, she points the fucking knife right at his chest and is like, no, I'm not done with you. And I was like, dude, this girl is actually fucking nuts. I actually thought for a minute my friend was about to get murdered in front of me. And he starts backing up because obviously she has a fucking knife to him and he's not trying to get poked with it. And she just keeps screaming the same thing over and over. I'm not done with you. You used me. You're a scumbag. Like, over and over, those 3 things. And finally it gets to the point where she's like on the other side and she's pointing at him and he's like backing up towards the door. And he was able to get to the door and open it. And he just runs out. Right when he's outside, he just ran. And I'm like sitting there now, and I'm the only one in the room with her. And I was like, well, nice seeing you. And I fucking walked out too, right? I'm like, fuck that. I'm not about to get killed. Now, after I walked out and she pretty much let me pass on by her and didn't hurt me, I kind of realized that she was all talk and wasn't going to do anything with the knife anyway. But that's still threatening people. Like, that's not okay. That's not good. You don't fucking do that when you get broken up with. Could you imagine reading that like a title? Like Scarce uploads a video. YouTuber found dead with Karambit CSGO knife in his neck. Like, can you fucking imagine that? But no, my friend was fine. She got broken up with and he blocked her number and he was never talking to her again. We got in the car and I was like, dude, why did you go back inside after being in the street? And he's like, well, she kicked me out and I didn't have my jacket, so I went back inside and she kept screaming at me to get out, and that's when she grabbed the knife. And I was like, well, were you hurting her? Were you refusing to leave? He's like, no, I was just trying to get my jacket out of her room, and she shut the door and locked it and then started pointing that fucking knife at me and telling me to get out. And I was like, okay, that is pretty fucked up. So while we're all talking about this, my friend, the driver, just goes, so what the fuck happened? And we just started dying laughing because he had no idea. Like, he was just there to pick him up with me. And then I explained to him the whole story, and so did my friend. He helped as well, and we just went back home to my house. And when we got back, he was just like, dude, I thought you were going to show up with your mom. That's why I asked you to come pick me up, because your mom's so cool. I could have talked about it with her. Because my mom's like the fucking advice guru of all my friends. Like, no joke, all my friends never even go to their own fucking parents for advice. They come here and talk to me and my mom, which is hilarious. But that's pretty much the end of the story. Even now, he still gets like random restricted calls and shit, and he never answers just because he thinks it's her. But that's pretty much the end, guys. Like, don't buy people 1 week anniversary gifts of CSGO knives, and, you know, just stay away from weapons. But I hope you guys enjoyed this pretty fucking crazy ass story. Please leave a like if you guys did enjoy it. Be sick if we get 10,000. Subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Peace.
Straight, my boss,